Hey, everyone, have you ever felt that knot of worry in your stomach? That little voice whispering doubts when you really want something big? Maybe it's landing that dream job, or maybe, just maybe, it's walking into a place where you feel like you don't quite belong, even though you absolutely do. Tell me in the comments below, where are you watching from today? It's amazing to see how far our stories can reach. And hey, before we dive in, a quick click on that like button would be super appreciated. It helps us share more stories like this with you. You guys are the best. This story, it's especially for you. Now, imagine this walking into a brand new chapter of your life, a moment you've worked so hard for, only to be met with a cold, hard wall of misunderstanding. It's a punch to the gut, right? Let's see how this unfolds. The polished gleam of the cars in the showroom reflected the anxiousness in Darius's eyes. He smoothed down his jacket, a nervous habit he couldn't shake. Today was the day. After years of saving, of late nights and early mornings, he was finally going to finalize the purchase of his very own dealership. Destiny Motors, the sign outside proudly proclaimed. A name he'd chosen with hope and a touch of audacious ambition. He stepped inside, the scent of new leather and possibility filling the air. A man in a crisp suit, who Darius assumed was a manager, approached him with a practiced smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Can I help you?" the manager, whose name tag read Mr. Sterling, asked, his tone polite but distant. Darius cleared his throat. "Yes, I'm Darius. I believe we had an appointment." Mr. Sterling's smile faltered slightly. "An appointment? I don't seem to have. Under what name?" There was a subtle shift in his demeanor, a coolness that made Darius's stomach clench. "Darius Redwood," he replied, a little louder this time. "Regarding the sale of the dealership." A flicker of something, was it disbelief, crossed Mr. Sterling's face. The new owner? He said it as if the words tasted unpleasant. He gave Darius a quick, appraising look, his eyes lingering a moment too long. "Yes," Darius confirmed, trying to keep his voice even despite the sudden unease settling over him. "I believe the paperwork was finalized last week." Mr. Sterling's polite facade completely crumbled. His smile vanished, replaced by a look of blatant suspicion. "Look, buddy," he began, his tone hardening. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but this is a private business. You need to leave." Darius felt a flush of heat creep up his neck. "Excuse me? I own this business." "You," Mr. Sterling scoffed, a harsh, dismissive sound. "Don't insult my intelligence. Someone like you couldn't possibly afford this place." The words hung in the air, sharp and stinging. Darius felt a wave of disbelief wash over him, quickly followed by a surge of anger. Someone like me? What did that even mean? He opened his mouth to retort, but Mr. Sterling cut him off. "Security," Mr. Sterling barked, his voice echoing across the showroom. "Escort this person off the premises." A burly man in a uniform approached Darius, his expression unreadable. Darius stood his ground, his fists clenching. "This is outrageous. I have the documents, the proof of purchase." "I don't care about your documents," Mr. Sterling sneered. "Just get him out of here." Humiliation burned in Darius's chest. This was supposed to be a moment of triumph, a culmination of his dreams. Instead, he was being treated like a common trespasser. The security guard placed a firm hand on Darius's arm. Just then, a voice, calm and authoritative, cut through the tense atmosphere. "What in the world is going on here, Sterling?" A woman with an air of quiet confidence walked into the showroom. It was Ms. Albright, the previous owner of Destiny Motors, who had stayed on temporarily to help with the transition. Her eyes, sharp and observant, took in the scene, Darius being held by security, Mr. Sterling's furious face. Mr. Sterling's demeanor shifted instantly. "Ms. Albright, this man claims he's the new owner. Obviously, it's some kind of mistake." Ms. Albright's gaze turned to Darius, her expression a mixture of concern and confusion. "Darius? What's happening?" Darius tried to explain, his voice thick with emotion. He doesn't believe me. He's trying to throw me out." Ms. Albright's eyes narrowed as she looked back at Mr. Sterling. "Sterling, have you lost your mind?" This is Mr. Redwood, the new owner. I've been expecting him." The color drained from Mr. Sterling's face. He stammered. "But, buddy," he trailed off, unable to articulate his prejudiced assumptions. A heavy silence fell over the showroom. The other employees, who had been watching with a mixture of curiosity and unease, now looked at Mr. Sterling with newfound something. Disgust, perhaps? Ms. Albright walked over Darius and placed a reassuring hand on his arm. "I am so incredibly sorry, Darius. This is unacceptable." Darius felt a wave of relief wash over him, mixed with a bitter taste of what he had just experienced. The humiliation lingered, but Ms. Albright's support was a lifeline. "Sterling," Ms. Albright said, her voice firm, "I think it's time we had a serious conversation. In my office. Now." She led a visibly shaken Mr. Sterling away, leaving Darius standing in the middle of the showroom, the object of everyone's stunned gazes. The security guard released his arm, looking apologetic. Over the next few days, things changed rapidly at Destiny Motors. Mr. Sterling was swiftly relieved of his duties. Ms. Albright made sure Darius felt welcomed and respected, introducing him to the staff and showing him the ropes. But the initial encounter left a mark. Darius couldn't shake the feeling of being judged, of being seen as less than because of the color of his skin. It fueled a fire within him, a determination to prove everyone wrong, to make Destiny Motors not just successful, but a beacon of fairness and opportunity for everyone. He implemented new policies, emphasizing respect and inclusivity. He made sure his employees understood that judging people based on appearances was not only wrong, but bad for business. He wanted Destiny Motors to be a place where everyone felt welcome, regardless of who they were or where they came from. It wasn't easy. There were whispers, lingering prejudices that he had to address head-on. But Darius was persistent. He poured his heart and soul into the dealership, working tirelessly, building trust with his team and his customers. Slowly but surely, things began to change. Destiny Motors gained a reputation not just for its excellent cars, but for its welcoming atmosphere and its commitment to treating everyone with dignity. Customers from all walks of life flocked to the dealership, drawn by the genuine respect they felt the moment they walked through the door. Years passed. Destiny Motors thrived, becoming a cornerstone of the community. Darius never forgot his first day, the sting of Mr. Sterling's prejudice serving as a constant reminder of the importance of fairness and equality. He often thought about that moment, not with anger anymore, but with a quiet resolve. It had been a painful beginning, but it had ultimately shaped the kind of leader and the kind of business owner he became. What do you think about Darius's reaction? Have you ever faced a situation where you were unfairly judged? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences matter. The lesson here, friends, is that first impressions can be deceiving, and judging a book by its cover can lead to hurtful mistakes. True worth isn't about how someone looks, but about who they are and what they've achieved. Let's always strive to see beyond the surface and treat everyone with the respect they deserve. Remember, kindness costs nothing, but its impact can be immeasurable.